St. Paul, but every time we've went up there, you guys have been out of town. So,
Well, we'll try to be around this summer.
okay, that sounds good. We'll try to make it up there this summer, and then
But yeah,
you guys
Fort
could take us
Snelling
around.
State Park, they have this big island, Pike Island, and there's all kinds of like deer and stuff. And a couple years ago, we were hiking around, and there was this guy sitting underneath a tree, and he hushed us, and he points up, and there was a barred owl in the tree.
Cool.
And he was looking around, and we asked him what he was doing. He was looking for pellets, for owl pellets, and he found some. And we were digging through it, and we found all the little mousy bones and stuff.
Oh, wow.
It was really cool.
That's awesome.
He has other intentions.
Oh.
That.
We need to
I want
go
one. Every time the kids see
the
something this
sloth
size, they're like, I want one.
What sloth people? Yes, we need to go to the sloth people. Why is this a...
What are they called?
Oh.
Dick
Dick
dicks. Dick dicks. There's the water buck. Hungry, hungry hippos.
That's the giraffe's intestines.
You really don't realize the size of these things. And an interesting fact about a hippo, even though they're vegetarians, there are more deaths in Africa caused by hippos than any other means. Yep, and it's usually just because people go into their territory and they
Throw a lot of poo with it. They like
it,
wave
like
the
I
poo
do.
with their tail.
Yeah, they like
Flings it, they fling it.
Well, they like go
projectile.
like this with their tail.
One of my favorite animals, giraffes.
I look up
If
that.
I'm not mistaken,
Love a giraffe.
giraffes have the same amount of neck vertebrae that we do.
That is crazy.
Yeah, but they're just big.
Yeah.
They're just bigger, but they do have the same amount of neck vertebrae.
They belong to one.
But don't they have, do they have more than one heart?
I think so.
I think they have 5 hearts or 7 hearts or something like that,
Look
yeah.
at the size of their intestines.
There's their vertebrae right there.
Look at their intestines.
This is a giraffe's intestines.
It goes on. Giraffe
Look at
guts
that.
go
It just
for
goes
days.
on and on and look at the size of their stomach.
Giraffe's intestines for days.
That is crazy. Rhino eyes, hippo eyes, giraffe eyes. My, what big eyes you have.
Now I'm untied this one.
There's a big rhino. How does a giraffe defend itself?
How does a giraffe defend it?
By
By hitting
flight,
its neck.
not fight. It will run at the first sign of danger. How does a hippo defend himself? What hippo? Hippo defends itself by hiding. It swims out of the water to escape danger. And how does a rhino defend itself? By showing anger. Rhinos fake charge, snort, paw at the ground, and simply act mean. Look at this picture. Isn't this crazy? Look at, you got the big city in behind,
And then a giraffe.
and there you got a wild
Our
giraffe.
group left.
So on gorillas, no 2 noses are alike. They're like a human's fingerprints. No 2 human fingerprints are alike. So noses are like fingerprints on different gorillas. And that's how they actually identify some of the gorillas. You might think they all look alike, but they do not. They actually have different noses. How about that? Look at this leopard. And it looks like he's going to attack these little guys right here.
Look at it.
But it's okay, they're separated between plexiglass. A wildebeest. Now we all know the story of the Savo lions, but this is the man-eater of Mafui.
This is the closest I will ever get to a lion.
That's the closest you'll ever get to a lion?
Yeah, true. A lion has been laying right there at the Lincoln Park Zoo, and that one was a lion.
Mafui.
To a man eating.
So he was a man-eater.
Very dangerous lion.
Oh, here she comes. Watch out, boy, she'll chew you up. She's a man-eater. What? Down here in the cafeterias, they have these windows, and you can see like fur seals.
Big.
Big otter.
Yeah. And they have other window displays as well. Like inside here, breaking the ice makes for easy breathing. These are the Weddell seals. These are sea cows, otherwise known as manatees.
Yeah, I think I remember these.
Yeah, they've been here for a long time. These are my favorite animals.
And these seals gain and lose a ton of weight. These are elephant seals. Over here is the sea otters. Oh, look at the baby. And now let's go on to the other side. And on the other side, they have another little cafeteria with windows as well, like that. Okay, so here's an interesting fact about walruses. Typically, in most species, the males grow either tusks or horns, but in walruses, both male and females grow tusks. So just by looking at them, you could not tell what is a male or a female. One of the strangest creatures of the ocean, yet one of my favorites, is a narwhal. And they grow these huge, long tusks. But yeah, these are the narwhal whales. Yes, it's not just a song, they are in fact real. Looks like Carl and Ted are gonna go and get a mold-a-rama of a T-Rex.
I haven't done this in about 35, 40 years.
Probably at the Brookfield Zoo.
Yes.
So they used to be like 50 cents when we were kids. Now they're $3. I remember the big hoopla when my parents found out that they went up to $1, and they're like, really? This is crazy. Now we're spending $3 on them. But it is an experience. It's very interesting.
$3.
That closes up. That seals the mold. All the pressures build up. It's like science right in front of your eyes. And then it injects the wax and the plastic in there, and then it'll come down. And when it comes down, it will be hot. And you have to hold it upside down for probably a good minute, just so if anything drips off of it. And you want to be holding the base. You don't want to, because it's when it comes out, it's so hot and soft. You don't want to squish its head. Look at this. The spatula comes down, and there it goes. Okay.
Hold it upside down.
It's so hot. There it is.
You've never got the time.
Look at that. Oh, yes.
Wait.
All right.
Hold the Rama.
See, it smells
Just like I remember.
Yeah, it's got a very distinct
Plastic smell.
plastic
Yep.
smell.
Plastic.
Look, yes. But yeah, Chicago's very famous mold-a-ramas. Look at this mold-a-rama. They have an elephant in this one.
Should or we can use a card.
Look at that. That is awesome. Now Ted's going to get the elephant. I believe.
Stanley.
Stanley? There you go. In memory.
Excelsior.
All right. There's an elephant. The spatula comes down, knocks it in. Ted's going to reach in, grab it, hold it upside down for about a minute, just so any wax doesn't drip off. Look at that.
Gosh, now I don't know which one to give her.
Whichever one we know.
So we're going to go on this little nature walk. They got all different kind of woodland creatures and such, and lakeland creatures. Look at that pretty butterfly. It's iridescent wings. So here are these are condors. They were hunted to near extinction, and now they only survive, since 1987, they only survive in captivity. Pretty sad. Look at all the birds.
that?
Look at ladybird. Look at these are recently extinct American birds. These are no longer alive. Never will be again. Isn't that sad?
It's a duck.
Eskimo curlew, Guadalupe petrel, Labrador duck, a heath hen,
Look at how amazing this
passenger pigeon,
Huh?
Carolina parakeet, and a Guadalupe flicker,
And a duck.
recently extinct.
Oh.
Like it's one little.
Did you know that Ben Franklin voted to have this be America's national bird, but it was voted down for the American eagle instead? That's right.
Well, there's.
Look at these penguins. These things are awesome. That is an emperor penguin right there, and a king penguin. Galapagos penguin right there. Believe it or not, a jackass penguin. He's the smart act of the group. An Adelaide penguin. And a little penguin. And the largest bird, the ostrich. Look at the size of its eggs. Can you imagine having an egg for breakfast that size right there?
Feed the whole family.
But nothing's quite as cute as a baby ostrich.
Look at it.
Now, here's the thing about bears, either big or small, they are all the same species.
I'm gonna say.
So this was a very popular panda. Her name was Su Lin, and she was the first live panda in the United States. And she was at the Brookfield Zoo. She arrived in 1937, but she had a very short life. She died of pneumonia just a year later. And although she was thought to be a female, after an autopsy, she was found that she was actually a male. So he was sent to the Field Museum for scientific study and eventual display, which he is on now. Su Lin. Look at all the carnivorous cats. Cat relatives. You don't realize that these are cat relatives. Things like foxes and hyenas. And you would almost think a hyena is a dog, but it's actually part of the cat family. Look, we got the marsupials over here. Kangaroos. A wallaby. A wombat. Wallabies. Spotted, what is that? Couscous. A lot of people don't know what an actual Tasmanian devil looks like, but that is a Tasmanian devil right there. Blah, blah, blah. The platypus. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
You ask that question every time we come here. We're talking
A
about
spring hen?
the cat being where it looks like the cat's coughing and it's like.
Yeah. But look at that.
It
Kinda
looks
looks
like
like
an
a-
anime character.
Yeah, or like
Like the kid from Little Giants.
what's the one, the Lorax?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The deer and the antelope families.
Like vampire deer.
Vampire deer. Yes. What? Oh man, check that out. That's awesome. A Chinese water deer. Here's another one that looks like it's a cartoon character. Look at the fluffy cheeks.
Saiga?
A Siga or Saija or
Saiga. They grow out of their snout like that.
That's nuts, yeah.
Uh-huh.
A wild boar.
Peccaries. Oh.
It's a warthog skeleton. It's like Zaboomafoo. Right there.
Oh, it's a boomer fruit.
Yeah.
But seriously, isn't this one? It's like, Sharon, we need to talk. This is just isn't working for me anymore.
Baboon. And here we have come to the Great Hall. We've all been here before, or I've been here before. We brought you guys here not too long ago. But we brought you here to the Lions of the Savo. Yes, the man-eating lions of the Savo. Here is their story. So during a 9-month reign of terror, in 1898, these two male lions, known as the Lions of Savo, preyed on the construction workers of the British Ugandan Railway in modern-day Kenya. By the time head railway engineer J.H. Patterson stopped the lions, they had halted work on the railway for 3 months, caused hundreds of people to flee for their lives, and killed at least 28 of the railroad workers.
These are the man-eaters. Yeah.
And there they are.
During a 9-month reign of terror.
Now that is their hides, however their actual skulls are over here.
Huh.
We're gonna end a debate right here. They're male, but why don't they have manes?
Well done and spread out over the earth.
Savo is hot and very dry.
The fins stretched out across the
So,
flat, creating a long valley, a process.
well-maned lions are
We can see a
common,
similar process
but
by
where it is
stretching out
hot
this piece
and
of
rain
surface.
is lacking for 5 months of the year, male often
A whole
develop
series of
little
valleys
or
called
no
the Rift Valley
manes.
system runs through East Africa, from the Red Sea all the way to Mozambique. The process is still going on.
Captive
and millions
lions
of years
from
now,
Savo can grow
split
manes.
off East Africa.
And other places in Africa are more mane-friendly. So the reason they didn't have manes is because of the climate. That is why they did not have manes.
Which covers fossil layers down below.